Cheers, everyone, and welcome all you wine lovers and wine enthusiasts to pswinefest, Palm Springs' very first wine festival. And we're here at the Ace Hotel on a beautiful warming up day in Palm Springs. And we're just about to get started here with over 40 vintners, all from California, all organic and biodynamic wines. This was all set up by Christine of Dead or Alive Wine Bar. She's amazing, and we'll talk to her later. But let's get started and taste some wine. I'm here with Drew and Emily from Trailmarker, one of 40 vintners that are featured today.
Yeah.
Not one of, but you have a specialty. Tell us about your wines and where you're from.
So we are actually from Southern California.
Okay.
From Los Angeles. Emily's parents lived in Palm Springs many years.
Really? Oh, that's very cool.
But we now live in Northern California, and we started Trailmarker in 2012 with a focus on high elevation, mountain grown Chardonnays, Pinots. And since then, we started doing some other kind of quirky things as well. Would you like to try it?
I would love to try it. So,
aged in neutral French oak barrels and native fermentation, native spontaneous fermentation.
you know, it's interesting. It tastes like very, I don't know what the right word would be, smooth, but not as oaky as I would expect from the
Well, it's all neutral oak,
nose.
so
Neutral
none of it's
oak.
new barrels. So we're doing
Okay.
entirely everything in older used barrels that other people have vinified in before,
Yeah.
and then we buy them. And so we like the way the wine interacts with the oxygen as a result of oak, but we don't really want to impart the flavor of the barrel onto it.
Great, thank you so much,
Thank you
Kurt
so
and
much,
Emily.
y'all.
Cheers. Cheers. Well, Craig from LoFi Wines just poured me probably an incredible glass of Chardonnay. Hi, Craig. Hi, Joni. LoFi, where are you located?
We make the wines in Buellton,
Buellton.
and we all live in Los Alamos. So
Okay,
the
Los
business is
Alamos.
based in Los Alamos.
Okay, and tell us about what you just poured me.
It's Chardonnay from a couple different vineyards in Santa Barbara County,
Okay.
one of which is called Oak Savannah. It's
Oak Savannah?
by Los Olivos.
Okay, we're
it's
familiar.
interesting because it was actually planted by James Garner of the Rockford Files.
Oh,
His
I didn't know
vineyard.
he was into that, but that's cool.
And then the other vineyard is the other direction of the Santa Rita Hills.
Okay.
It's called Spear. It's a certified organic vineyard out there. So a little bit from that one too. It's aged
Lo-fi?
in concrete, so
Oh,
it's,
concrete,
it's not
yeah.
oaky, it's not buttery.
Very drinkable.
Yeah,
It's so
super
weird
fun.
when you say you can. I mean, I actually can taste the concrete. Isn't that strange?
It has a minerality of
Yeah,
sorts.
that must be what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much,
Thanks.
Craig. Joni. LoFi Wines. We're here at Scribe Winery out of Sonoma, and I'm here with Adam, the winemaker. Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Going well. Happy to be in Palm
Great.
Springs.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is beautiful.
Tell us about your wine. Tell us just an overview of
Right.
your varietals, what you do.
So my brother Andrew and I started Scribe 10 years ago on a historic vineyard and winery in southern Sonoma.
Oh, very
It
cool.
was one of the first wineries in California pre-Prohibition in the 1850s.
Whoa.
And it was pioneered by a German family, and so as we kind of revived this old historic estate, we planted a lot of the old varietals that they were growing pre-Prohibition there. It's like Riesling, Sylvaner, Saint Laurent. And we, the reason we named it Scribe was we were inspired to tell the story of this historic vineyard and kind of through our own lens on it and through our own wines.
Wow, it sounds like quite an undertaking. How long did it take for actually the grapes to mature? And
So we started planting in 2008, and we got our first vintage in 2012. So it takes a little while, but it's a beautiful farm and an incredible place, and makes beautiful wines.
Amazing. How many bottles do you produce a year?
So the farm produces about 10,000 cases. Mostly Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Riesling, and Sylvaner. And if you would like to taste some
I would.
Sylvaner, Of course, for you. Are you familiar with Sylvaner?
I am
the
not.
grape
I'd like to
varietal?
learn more about this.
So Sylvaner is a German white varietal, similar to Riesling,
Okay.
but instead of having those kind of round, sweet Riesling shoulders, it's a little more focused of a wine, a little stronger acidity, little kind of spicy and viscous. And this is the only Sylvaner vineyard in California.
Really? Sylvaner.
Sylvaner.
I'm tasting, I believe, if this
The
truly
first
is
Sylvaner.
the first Sylvaner
That's
I have
great.
ever had. Not even in Germany. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow. It has a really interesting, would I say like it's a little old world, but it's like very,
Yeah, we make our wines fairly restrained in style. We kind of find that the balance on the wines is a little pulled back with lower alcohols and kind of fresher, vibrant.
I was going to say, yeah,
Liveliness.
it's like great for Palm Springs again.
It's great for, actually, that is great. It
Right.
is great for Palm Springs.
Right.
It's perfect for Palm Springs.
We're always looking for something that's not too heavy, not too heavy.
It's good.
All right.
So this is our skin fermented Chardonnay. And skin fermented means fermented on the skins like a red wine. And it spends a little over 3 months on the skin, so about 100 days.
Whoa. And I picked it up because I thought it's a cool bottle.
Well, it's an atypical approach to
Yeah.
making a white wine, and so we wanted the packaging to reflect the kind of obscure approach to the winemaking. We'll enjoy
Cheers.
it. Yeah,
Thank you.
very much.
Scribe
Cheers.
Winery. Well, we're excited to be at Poe Wines out of Napa with winemaker Samantha Sheehan. Hi, Samantha.
Hi.
How are you?
Good,
Welcome
how
to
are you?
Palm Springs.
Thank you.
All right. Tell us about your wine and tell us about your story.
Yeah.
I think you have a unique story about the wines you make.
When I was living in Los Angeles in 2007, 2008, I spent a lot of time visiting Champagne and in Burgundy.
In France.
In France, yes. And so I love sparkling wines. So now I make Champagne Method sparkling wine, which we're pouring here today. So it's a 2014 rosé. And we have a red Pinot Meunier, which is a varietal from Champagne.
Red Pinot Meunier?
Pinot Meunier.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, the three main varietals in Champagne are Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. And so I think there's only about 3 or 4 Pinot Meuniers that are made in California. Steve Matthiason makes one of them, and I make one. So it's kind of like a fun, unique wine to have at the taste.
Can we try that?
Yeah, of course.
Samantha is going to pour me up Pinot Meunier. Pinot Meunier.
So it's a really light, very floral varietal with a lot of spice. So I kind of get that like cinnamon, baking spice characteristics.
I smell the spice.
Yeah. And it's always very low in color. It's hard to get a lot of color out of Pinot Meunier.
Low in color.
Yeah, but it still has a lot of concentration and depth. So I think that's sort of interesting about it.
It does. Yeah.
It's very deceiving.
Yeah. What food would you recommend?
Well, this time of year, I think it's a great turkey wine.
Turkey wine.
Yeah, fish, chicken,
even
kind of
fish.
lighter.
Yeah. Samantha, what are these little bottles?
So I brought 2 of our vermouths with us.
Oh.
And I'm so excited to get to introduce people to vermouth because I think so many people think of vermouth as something you just mix into a martini.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like a lot of people's first experience with vermouth is just drinking the vermouth that their parents have in their liquor cabinet, which has maybe sat there for 5 years.
Yeah.
And vermouth is wine-based, so you don't want to leave it open for too long.
I hear you should refrigerate it. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I like to refrigerate it. Ours lasts a little bit longer because it's citrus-based, and all the citric acid in the citrus is a natural preservative. So ours lasts a few months in the fridge, but it's sort of best to drink it fresh.
Well, let's try. You have 2 vermouths here, and this one
Yeah.
you're pouring for me is
So this is the first one. This is the D'Orange, we call it.
D'Orange.
It's very similar to maybe Lillet. It's a white wine base with orange peels and lemon peels.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're really fun, aren't they?
Oh, it's so citrusy, but it's so like, it smells like our backyard.
Oh,
We've got citrus galore right now.
from Palm Springs.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good on its own or in a cocktail, maybe with gin, like a Vesper martini.
Oh, this is really amazing. This is very unique.
After a long day, I'll come home and I'll pour myself a little glass
Okay.
and just sip on it while I think about what I want to make for dinner. It's nice.
Nice. It's the thinking woman's vermouth.
I like that.
Cheers and to the brain. Well, I'm here with Jeff Fisher from Habit in Los Olivos, one of our favorite places. Hey Jeff, welcome.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
I'm great. It's nice to be here.
Good. Is this beautiful?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's it's what a great event.
It is.
Woohoo.
Really, it's fantastic. We're loving Palm Springs, having a lot of fun.
Right?
Yep.
So Habit Wines, tell us about your varietals, what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I make about 8 or 9 different wines, some unique varietals, Gruner Veltliner,
Yeah.
work with Chenin Blanc, Grenache, Cab Franc. You know, whatever I like to drink, I kind of just try to make a little bit of. So, yeah, they're all like super dialed back, really high acid, low alcohol. You know, I mean, great for like warm weather California wine drinking.
Where are most of your grapes from?
They're all Santa Barbara County.
They're all Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything's farmed sustainably, organically, or biodynamic.
Right.
And yeah, work with really good fruit and just make wines that we really believe in. Just pretty simple.
Well, it's beautiful country, and I would love to taste
Yeah,
whatever you're pouring
Well, I
today.
know you like red. We'll do a little Cabernet Franc. That's from Coakley Co Vineyard in Solvang. It's certified organic, 80% whole cluster, foot stomped, neutral French oak. On the lees for 7 months, racked, bottled, unfined, and unfiltered. Yeah, let me know what you think.
I love the subtlety, and I also love the. It's sort of, is it the tannin?
No, I mean, I think it's pretty light tannin, but
Light.
there's a really bright fruit. I get a lot of like crunchy, like beautiful, like fruit, ripe, red berries and strawberries.
You could sip it. It probably works well with a lot of different.
Oh, super food friendly.
right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I crush it with just pizza, but it goes with a steak or anything.
Hey, where's the pizza? Where's the steak? Where's the food here?
I'm waiting.
Where's the food here?
There's going to be plenty, I'm sure, at some point. Well, thanks for stopping by. It's really nice to meet you all.
Oh, great to meet you,
Yeah,
Jeff.
cheers.
Cheers.
All right, cheers. Palm Springs Wine Fest.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. Here we are with Emily and Jody from Brix Winery. San Diego? Are there wines in San Diego?
Believe it or not, San Diego is actually the birthplace of wine in California.
Wait, I need to hear the story. Tell us. Tell all of us.
Before Prohibition, San Diego was actually the first mission, and the vines came to California when the Padres...
Does it have to do with Catholic priests or something?
Absolutely. So Prohibition destroyed the industry, unfortunately, and there aren't any old vines remaining except for this one vineyard that we have, and a wine that we'll pour for you today that was planted in 1981. Actually, the oldest wine-growing vineyard still remaining in San Diego.
The oldest wine in San Diego from the vineyards from 1981?
1981. So we're actually starting out, if you want, with a Riesling. We make our wines in San Diego, but we work with vineyards all over California.
I was going to ask where the vineyards were.
Yes, so this one is in Santa Barbara County.
Santa Barbara County.
The city of Los Alamos. So just behind Vandenberg Airport.
The city or the township or the locale?
Yeah,
the locale. Although I hear it's getting very busy up there.
It's very popular. The secret's out.
Is it a dry Riesling?
Absolutely dry.
That'll be great for Christmas too, right? That's nice, very dry. You want to say something? Oh, we're trying something else.
We're gonna go to San Diego.
We're going to San Diego.
So this is the vineyard that we're talking about that was planted in '81. It's Old Vine Carignan.
Carignan.
Yes.
This is the old vine.
Normally Carignan is used as a blend, so we wanted to showcase it on its own.
Carignan is
like
typically a lot of earth and spice.
Yeah.
So like forest floor, and kind of baking spices.
Forest floor. Okay, this is the most unique wine I've ever had. What would you pair it with?
It's very versatile. I like dry rub ribs.
Dry rub ribs. dry rub salmon. Okay, the most exciting part of PS Winefest is being with Christine Soto, who made this all happen. This is amazing. I mean, seriously. Okay, the first of the first in Palm Springs, California Wines, biodynamic, organic.
Yep.
Tell us more. How did you make this happen?
Woo, how did I make it happen? Well, I opened Dead or Alive 3 years ago, and over the course of those years, been making relationships with winemakers and distributors.
Right.
And I really wanted to have a wine event in Palm Springs, but I didn't know what kind of event. So just sort of organically, I landed on California, and then I reached out to some key winemakers, that I'm friends with and close with, and they said we're in, and I said okay, and then I, talked more with my distributors, and then they helped me draw on the other ones. Once that happened, talked to Ace, they were on board, and then that was it.
But because Dead or Alive Wine Bar I would call it a hidden secret that's like about to explode. It's actually exploding already.
Yeah.
We all know. But they have amazing wine club, and also you feature really unique varietals, on a rotation.
The wine club's really for me because
she wants wine. The girl wants her wine.
And I want people to come to Palm Springs. I want to show them around. I want to expose my customers to different wines, and I want to meet some of these winemakers. So I'm like, come to Palm Springs. So really the Palm Springs Wine Fest is sort of an expansion of that. It's not hard to convince people to come to Palm Springs this time of year.
There's the draw, I know.
Yeah.
Although this is an amazing turnout. The Ace Hotel, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you to the Ace. They're incredible.
What a beautiful day. I mean, what a great turnout.
Amazing, perfect.
I gotta give you a kiss.
Okay. Mwah.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Well, I'm here at Ruth Lewandowski with Evan, the winemaker.
Hi.
Evan, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Hey.
Thank you. Hi.
And Aaron. Hi. And who's Ruth?
It's funny you should ask. Everyone asks. Everyone just assumes it's my grandmother or my mom, but it's not.
It could be, or
it could be, or it's more of a concept, more of an idea, really.
I like that idea.
Yeah, Ruth. In fact, is my favorite book in the Old Testament of the Bible. So.
Is this biblical wine?
It is. It's totally biblical wine.
Well, it is Sunday.
It is Sunday after all. It's the Lord's Day.
Praise be.
Praise be. Praise be. And then so all of the cuvées, all the wines are named after a pivotal character in that book. So all very Hebrew, all very rich in meaning and allegory. Somewhat dark sometimes. This means Malon means sick or dying. Killian means the afflicted or terminal. This one's a little bit more positive. This one means by strength. Or in him there is strength.
Hanukkah starts tomorrow.
It's true.
So, what?
More appropriate.
What's more appropriate?
Absolutely.
The strength wine? Should we taste one?
I think we should. Yeah.
Let's do that.
So Boaz is a cuvée that I make every year from a vineyard called the Testa Vineyard, which is a really historic vineyard for California, for Mendocino County at large. Planted originally in 1912 by the Testa family. It's been continuously farmed by them since then, so 4 generations of organic farming. And this is easily some of the most incredible red fruit I've ever worked with on any continent. It's Carignan, Grenache, Cabernet.
I've been hearing a lot about Carignan lately.
You'll see. I feel like you'll see a lot of Carignan in the hands of natural winemakers. And I think that's a good thing. I think Carignan's a very high acid variety, so that actually lends itself to natural winemaking very well. You're not having to add acid. You're not having to be scared about high pH or bacterial issues. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, Hanukkah.
Cheers.
Cheers. L'chaim.
L'chaim. L'chaim more.
Cheers.
Thank you, Evan.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, even Santa's drinking today.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Are you Mrs. Santa or Santa or one of an elf or a wine drinking?
I'm just the holiday spirit.
Yeah. And the holiday spirit is on, right?
It is. And you can't, when you have wine with you, can't
PS
go wrong.
Winefest,
Yeah.
you're all always
Can't go
happy.
wrong.
This is fantastic.
This is awesome.
So
This is
Nomadica, you are great. What is you are?
I'm Kristen.
Are you the winemaker?
I'm one of the founders of the company.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Great to meet you. Yeah, so we want
It's very yummy.
Yeah. All right, what are you pouring?
So I'm pouring
Wine in a can.
Wine in a can.
Wine in a can.
Wine in a can. Santa approved.
Who cannot? I cannot. I can.
You can.
I can. Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So, do we pour it in here?
Marketing slur.
So we do collaborations with winemakers and artists.
Oh.
Yes. So this wine was made by Josh Clapper of Timber for us. It's 100% Chenin Blanc from Clarksburg, organic, biodynamic, unfined, unfiltered, all stainless steel.
Oh my gosh, cheers. I mean, seriously. Just
Right?
just
Just
the
the smell?
nose coming from a can. Well, you know what? It's a great idea.
Is it?
We live in Palm Springs. No bottles poolside.
Yeah.
No glass poolside.
I'm in Palm Springs too. No glass,
Yep.
no bottles, so cans are perfect. Cheers.
It's really like earthy and like it's my kind of wine,
Yeah.
especially this time of year.
Yeah. Yes. So we're just gonna stay here then, right?
Oh my
So
God.
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna stay.
love it.
I love it.
Very good.
Thank you. Cheers, Carissa. I'm here with Carissa Farley from Farley Pavings, and we're at Field Recordings with the winemaker himself, Andrew.
Hello there.
Hi, great to meet you. And we're just we're toasting your.
Superiore Red Blend.
Can you give us a little bit of a rundown? I mean, not an overview of your wine style and your winemaking technique?
Yeah, so started field recordings 10 years ago in Paso Robles, but we're a Central Coast winery. I get grapes from all over the Central Coast, and we make wine in all different kind of styles. We call it field recordings because it's all about telling the stories of the people I meet and the places I find out on the road planting new vineyards, and then started making wine to document that. So
It's kind of what we do too.
Well, not only did it document you, there was a coverage in Desert Sun. They did, they highlighted field recordings as well, and I read a little bit.
That's fantastic. Your wines, you focus on.
So it's all over the board. We're probably most known for making Chenin Blanc and Cabernet Franc, and then we make a red blend and a white blend called Fiction. That's what I always say with Fiction is we make Fiction to be everything you want out of a glass of white wine or red wine after a long day.
But we're afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic, and welcome.
No, sounds good. Good to be
So
here.
you're up in Paso.
Yep, up in Paso.
Tasting rooms in Paso.
Yeah, tasting room in Tin City, right in central part of Paso. We're the first winery in Tin City back in 2012, and seen it turn into like the spot to go in Paso. So 1 square block, you got 14 wineries, a brewery, a distillery, and a cider house.
Wow, thank you so much, Andrew.
Thank you.
All right, cheers. Cheers. I'm here with Steve from Mathiason. Mathiason is out of Napa.
Napa Valley, yes.
Napa Valley. Hey, great to meet you. So tell us about your winemaking, a little bit about your process and what you specialize in.
So our idea with wine, if you can imagine a farm-to-table restaurant, we would be a farm-to-table winery. We organic farming. We try to pick our fruit when it's still very vibrant, so before it goes really heavy. So it really showcase the fruit and the beauty of the fruit. So not a lot of new oak. It's very clean, pure winemaking for wines that are really for having with your dinner, with your food.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So what varietals do you produce?
We love the farming grapes, so we like exploring different varieties. So in an average year, we produce about 25 different varieties of grapes.
So what would you like to pour me today?
I'd like to pour you some Cabernet.
All right, let's do it.
Our mantra is weight without heaviness.
Weight
so lots of flavor, lots of layers. This is from 5 different vineyards in Napa, but a wine that's still very refreshing, which is not a term we normally associate with Cabernet.
All right. Cheers. It's really drinkable.
You can imagine it's mouth-watering, and then it's like ready to put a bite of food in there.
Yeah.
And have another glass and talk to people and enjoy it through the whole evening.
Thank you. Well, this is pretty in the afternoon in Palm Springs to be with Laura from Inconnu Wines in Napa. Hey, Laura.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
We're great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. This is fantastic. I think that in some level of winemaking would probably be a bit of a traditionalist. I like wines that, I prefer the term low intervention, where a lot of the decision making about how the wine is going to turn out is made before the grapes are ever picked. But once the grapes come into the winery, I feel like it's my job to kind of softly lead them to their place. That being said, I think that there's definitely a hand of the winemaker in any wine. I personally just feel that hand should be rather delicate.
Laura, what would you like to pour for me today?
I would love to pour the Kitsune Red Blend.
Okay. Here's my glass. It's got this really unique, it's very full, very earthy sort of, but I smell fruit too. I don't know, there's something.
Yeah, I think that Merlot got a bad rap because of the movie Sideways. As far as I'm concerned, Merlot is, I like to call it the romantic grape. It just makes a beautiful velvety wine. It's approachable. You can have good acidity, but then you have the kind of black cherry and the earthiness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, I'm here at Red Car with Tanner Sheeran, and it's so great to meet you. I've been waiting for this interview. Thank you. And I knew your name. I knew your brand, your label. And it was from, I think, Holiday House or Sparrows, local in town.
Yeah, absolutely. We were actually there last night and did a little wine event with a handful of folks. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sure.
tell us about your style of wine and.
Sure, yeah. So here at Red Car, really what we do, we're farmers first and then we're winemakers. So we're very, very fortunate and blessed to have the opportunity to work with a hand-selected group of several vineyard sites, that is, up and down the western edge of Sonoma County as a whole. So we've got a couple of sites in the Occidental Freestone area, and then cruising up to where our state vineyard is in the Fort Ross Seaview area. So, really for us, it was in an effort to produce wines of authenticity and genuity. And what I mean by that is varietals in their truest sense, in their truest form.
So one of your labels looks very old world, and the other looks very modern, would I say?
Sure.
So how does that work?
Well, for us, it's all a package deal, right? So you want your wine to be married with something that's attractive to folks.
Yeah.
So, yes, indeed, with our labels that you'll see here, our Sonoma Coast labels, as we're looking at these, we try to make them as informative as we can.
Okay.
So, you've got obviously some picture stuff here that's going to give you some idea of where you are, where we are rather, and where these vineyards are, ultimately where the wines are made. And then we're going to give you some awesome factual information. So for folks like myself and yourself, and I'm sure almost everybody here, we want to get the details, right? We want to get the nuts and bolts of this wine. We want to know things like pH and TA and all these other factors that come into play when we're talking about a wine. So we go ahead and we provide that here on our copy. So that's what you'll see there. And as far as this is our Pearl, this is what we call the Pearl 2016 Pearl. Yeah, the label is a bit different there, but again, it's all in an effort to be simple, clean,
Yeah.
indicative of what we do and indicative of red car, but also still attractive to the eye. So that's really the reasoning behind it.
So get your education at Red Car and also enjoy your tasting. What would you like to pour for me today?
To be honest with you, I would love to pour and talk about some rosé.
Let's do that. We haven't had a rosé today.
Right? I know it's December. We'll just kind of forget about that.
But
the sun is shining. That's all that matters.
hey, it's rosé all day in
That's what I'm screaming.
Palm Springs. Red Car. See, this has even like a slight earthiness to it, which is wonderful. Is it the fog? Is it like something? There's something about it. Yeah. Okay. Tanner, thank you so much. Red Car. Cheers.